Praise the name of Yeshua Mashiach, my salvation and my God. I'm End Time Watcher, Minister Eddie Belt. Praise the name of Yeshua, the true and living God, who does so much for a people who reject him, who don't pay any attention to what he has to say. What a great God we serve. If you serve Messiah, what a blessed person you are. What a blessed person you are. There's so much in the world today we could be serving, but we serve the true and living God. Got a short message for you today. Got a little time by myself. The title of the message today is Being Peculiar. Being peculiar. The very essence of God. The very essence of God. God is a God of love. He created us. The very fact that our bodies and our veins and our eyes, our nose and ears and our tongues, the way he put it all together, we serve a magnificent God. He's peculiar. You know why? Because there's no other one like him. No other. No other God. No other God like Yahweh. He created the heavens and the earth, the waters. Put people on it. Designed us to serve him. And today, God is showing so many people that he is God and there is no other. He's peculiar. He's a peculiar God. He stands alone. He stands alone on what he created, and he stands alone in his salvation. He is the true and living God, and he is peculiar. The essence of God, him being God, Yeshua, was peculiar in every way. He did not come to fit in with anybody. He came to minister the truth to everybody. People back in his time saw he was different. He was peculiar. His own people did not like him because of that, being peculiar. He healed. He blessed. And his own people said, according to John 10 and 20, they said he was mad. He had a demon. But why? It's because they were stuck in their religious ways. And religious ways are never peculiar. Peculiar ways are never peculiar. That's why they didn't listen to him. Just as it is today. When you're peculiar, when you don't run with the crowd, when you leave a church that's not preaching the truth, that's when you become peculiar. That's when you become peculiar. And a lot of things can happen to you when you become peculiar. And we're going to talk about that. Peculiar meaning. Refusal to conform to any rule of conduct that is contrary to the letter or spirit of God. We do it His way. We don't want to hear nothing else. Do what God tells us to do. Read His word, the letter of the word that was spoken and inspired by the Holy Ruach through men of God to write down. That's what we stand for. That's why we're peculiar. It doesn't happen overnight. We grow and we start understanding. God's Holy Ruach leads us and guides us into all truth. When we hear some shady doctrine, we know. That's what makes us peculiar. Let's go to Matthew, the 4th chapter, and we're going to do a little bit of reading. Let's read verse 1. The Spirit led Yeshua up into the wilderness to be tempted by the adversary. After Yeshua had fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Nobody else could do that. He was hungry. The tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, order these stones to become bread." Order these stones to become bread. Wanted Messiah to perform some kind of magic trick. They do that today. You got people like David Blaine. The devil can say, turn this into this, do this, that, and the other. He'll do it. This man can elevate himself. So he's operating in a demonic presence within him. Yeshua heard what Satan Hasatan said to him. Messiah said, "I'm not here to perform magic tricks. I'm here to save people." But he answered, the Tanakh says, "Man does not live by bread alone, but every word that comes from the mouth of Adonai." Then the adversary took him up to a holy city and set him on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "jump." For the Tanakh says, He will order His angels to be responsible for you. They will support you with their hands so that you will not hurt your feet on the stones. Tempting Yeshua with suicide. People committing suicide every day because of financial problems. They've lost a loved one or whatever it may be. All kind of stuff going on in their lives. And they get to a point, I can't take it. Tempted Messiah again, which makes him peculiar. I'm not going to do what you tell me to do, Satan. Yeshua replied to him, "But it also says, do not put Adonai, your God, to the test." Don't test God with this stuff. Once more, the adversary took him up to submit of a very high mountain, showed him all the kingdoms of the world in their glory, and said to him, I will All this I will give you if you bow down and worship me. Bow down and worship me, Hasatan says. I give you all this stuff. Satan is doing the same thing today. Because you're not walking and being peculiar. You'll fall for anything. Satan has offered you all that you want, and you compromised, and you are going to fall. Ministers, deacons, and pastors, a lot of them are not peculiar. That's when Satan can come and test them like they did Messiah, and they say yes. Oh yes, they say yes to the money, to the cars, to the women, to the houses. I look better than any other saint or any other bishop. I've got it all. And that's the lie, because you're not peculiar. So Satan can come to you and tempt you, and you say yes. Sad. It's really sad. All right, we're going to go to First Peter. Okay, First Peter. First Peter, the second chapter, verse 7 through 10. Okay, now to you who keep trusting, he is precious. But to those who are not trusting, the very stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. As he is a stone that will make people stumble, a rock over which they will trip. They are stumbling at the word, disobeying it as had been planned. You know, some people are chosen of God before they're even born. He knows they're going to serve him. He knows that one day they're going to listen. But some people, they just go their own way. That's what the word is saying here. They're not peculiar people. They are people that stumble and they fall. They don't listen to the word. They don't listen to Messiah. Because he knows they're not going to serve him. They're not the peculiar people. They're the straddling fence people. They're the people that say they saved, but they're not. They're the people that say they filled with the Ruach, but they're not. They're not peculiar. They fall for anything. They follow anybody. They follow every wind of doctrine. Oh yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Yeah, that's good. That sounds good. But you're not peculiar. You adding to the word and taking away from the word. You have tripped and stumbled. Because God already knew before you were even born that you would not serve him and you will not be chosen. And he said, a stone that will make people stumble, a rock over they will trip. They are stumbling at the word, disobeying it, and has been planned. But listen to this. These are the peculiar people he get ready to talk about right now. But you are a chosen generation, chosen people. The king's Canaan, a holy nation, a people for God to possess.
Got one for you, Mr. Eddie. Yeah.
God possesses his people. He knows them before they've been born. He knows them. He possesses them. You're mine. Not being possessed with a demon. He possesses you. He takes you in his arms. He takes care of you. That's my child. That's a peculiar one right there. They'll listen. When I call on them to come to me, after all that they go through, I know they're coming. That's that peculiar person that he knows that he has predestined to salvation. They will live for him. They will talk about him. They will witness to other people about him, regardless if they want to listen at all. But ye are a chosen people. You're peculiar. A holy nation, a people for God to possess. Why? In order for you to declare the praises of the one who called you out of darkness into a marvelous light. See, peculiar people can't hang around in darkness when they've been chosen. They've moved on from that. They walk in the light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Before, you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Dear friends, I urge you as aliens and temporary residents not to give in to the desires of the old nature, which keep warring against you. You're peculiar. Remember, you are blessed by God to be peculiar. Remember who you are each and every day. And one of the signs that you're peculiar is that you will be talked about. Oh, yes, you will be talked about. Your family will desert you in a whole lot of cases. Your friends will turn their back on you. Oh, yes. I got a small circle. Just me, my wife, my daughter, and maybe 2 or 3 other people that I personally hang around. And I got Apostle Nigel and Brother Larry, Pastor Larry, and I don't hang around a bunch of people. I keep it moving. If I hear you saying something crazy, I just walk off and I listen. I'll just walk off away from you. Yeah. Then when the time is right, I tell you about it. Your friends will turn it back on you. It don't take all of that. It's become you have become peculiar in a world that's dark. Church folk gonna persecute you. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. They're gonna persecute you. Because they're doing other stuff. They want you to stay in with them. They the ones doing the clubbing on the side. Go to church. Doing sleeping around. Doing all kind of stuff. Claiming Messiah. But they're not peculiar. They're not peculiar. They're not like Daddy, like our Father. Sometimes they don't even have a form of godliness. You can tell their fruit is not good. They're not peculiar. Church folk are going to talk about you. You have become a target of Hasatan. Because you're trying to walk in the essence of God. Be just like him. Yeshua, Messiah. Who has brought us into his kingdom to love us. But he expects us to be like him. Not the religious folk. Not the hypocrites, but a holy people to stand out and to be peculiar. That's when your circle is small. Don't nobody like you. Don't nobody want to be around you. They don't respect you. So this is the essence of who we are. The essence of God. The essence of God lives in us. We're peculiar, just like him. Can't nobody say he didn't do it. He can't do it. He controls everything. He lives in us and he controls us. We are the essence of God on earth. We're peculiar. And he loves us and he needs us each and every day. I hope the message has blessed you. Open up your eyes to the power of the true word of the living God. I thank you. Have a blessed one. I'll see you soon. I'm End Time Watcher, Minister Eddie Belt. Stay peculiar. Amen.